Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Kona in Hawaii Island, Hawaii, or other known as the Big Island. So I'm back to my favorite island. I've decided that out of the 3 that I've now visited on my trip, this is my favorite, remains my favorite. We'll see what happens next. I still have 3 to visit. That's gonna be happening about a month from now, so there will be more travels, more stories, but for now I'm not necessarily in my permanent location. This is still kind of like part of the traveling mode, but still it's the place that I know. It's not strange to me. I might be seeing something like going on some tours, checking out some places. I have a couple in mind while I'm in town, and then I'll go back to my friends in Kealakekua Bay, which will be a lot more rural, right? So this is like town, like, you know, with cafes, shops, places, churches. I went to a mass today, that was exciting. And then, you know, the place that I'm spend most of my time in is like it's basically a village in the jungle, so there isn't much, like there is nature of course, but you know, there are no activities, events really, although I do think that once I'm back a week from now, I did miss some of the water activities, so I'll probably, hopefully the weather is going to be nicer. We've had some storms and you heard me talking about the latest one, and it's still kind of like the remains of it is still here, but you know, when it's raining and there's high surf, which is high waves, it's not as much fun. But hopefully I'll pick the day when, you know, the weather is nice and there are no big waves, and I'll be able to get out, do some paddle boarding or kayaking or something like that, or snorkeling. We'll see, who knows. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? I didn't record anything for the full moon, which is actually happening shortly after. The peak is happening shortly after I'm recording this. So it's like, for me, my time that I'm doing this, it's still relevant, right? And I'm gonna do it, and I decided I am gonna do it. Although you will see it a few hours later, it will be posted, but the new moon and full moon energies are so powerful that we always experience it for a few more days even after the event. Also, this is like an acknowledgement of what is happening with this new moon, right? What's important. And I kind of been setting the scene for it in my readings already in the last few days, and hopefully that gave you an idea of, you know, how to switch gears if necessary. And yeah, the only thing is, like, you can see the ocean behind me, actually, like behind those palm trees, which is awesome. The only downside in this location is that there is they actually call it highway, I think. No, it's a drive. No, not a highway, a drive. But anyways, there's a pretty important road, right, like between the ocean and our place here. So yeah, it's pretty busy with traffic. That's why I'm not doing it actually outside. I mean, it is raining a little bit, but mostly I'm staying inside and having everything closed so that the noise is not bothering us. Okay, so back to the new moon. It's new moon in Aquarius, another new moon in Aquarius. It's like a, you know, kind of like a gate, a closing gate to this lunar month. And because it's still in Aquarius, remember that Aquarius energy is a lot about what do we do, you know, for the world, for our community, right? It's like the bigger meaning of what we do. Like, if there's something that you're already focusing on in your life, how can that be of help, of support to humanity, right? It doesn't have to be anything like special and, I don't know, like volunteering or, you know, spending a lot of time just doing stuff for other people. It doesn't have to be that. But it's more about thinking how what you do, what you're passionate about, right? What you feel guided to do, how can that be of help to other people? And I can guarantee you can be anything, especially in this day and age where you can go online and share your story, your experience, your knowledge with other people easily, right? So that it can be anything really. So this is for you to think how maybe you can turn it even more outwards towards the goodness of the community in the next lunar cycle, right? I've been also talking a lot about divine feminine, rethinking intentions, right? Kind of readjusting, refocusing. So this is of course very personal, so we'll see what I get here in the collective reading, but make sure in afterwards that you do take time to personalize that for yourself. What else? So yes, we'll do the new moon reading, and we'll see, I will pull cards to see what are the challenges and the opportunities for this new moon. And of course, actually it will be the advice. I don't want to make it too long, and it's already been 5 minutes. So yeah, we'll do kind of the advice, the mode with the oracle cards, and then it will be the opportunities and the challenges with the tarot. Wow, joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. This is for divine feminines. So this is the most important part. And like I said, when you're thinking about ways that you can contribute to the community, to the society, to the global collective, it doesn't have to be super special, but it has to be something that you're passionate about. Remember, I was just using that word, I was just talking about it, right? And then that is like an extra, there we go, an ambulance. It creates this image that you're like, you know, it's like the palm trees and the beach, and then the ambulance like rides past and crashes that image. Like, nope, we're in town. Anyways, yeah, so when you are putting your energy towards something that is naturally exciting for you and brings you joy, it's like it amplifies the effect 10 times, right? And it has that healing and uplifting effect on yourself, first of all, which is very important. And then it inspires you to how, you know, how, what, when, etc., etc. you can share it with others. What do we have for divine masculine? Okay. So I'm gonna stay in this location for the next almost a week. So yeah, you'll be seeing more of this scene. Probably different times a day. And also there's supposed to be sunset out there, but like I said, it's rainy, so you may not get it. Hopefully I'll finish this reading before it gets dark. And what I also like about this one is the glass wall. So this space that you see behind me, it's actually a wall, not a glass wall, a mirror wall, of course, that's what I meant. Take action with passion, valor and courage. So also a similar vibe, similar kind of energy. Take action with passion, you know, like it's like that confidence, more of that. I'm getting more of that Leo energy that we had in the full moon. It's like riding that energy still, right? But this is encouraging. I feel like the main message here is actually about taking action. And yes, of course, you're supposed to have courage. You're supposed to be like, you're supposed to be passionate and naturally driven towards it, which is how masculine energy works anyway, right? If you're just doing something out of obligation without really believing in it, there's a good chance it's not gonna work. So again, this is another side of like the same concept that I was talking about for DF, but this is like, for DMs, it has a little bit different nature to it. Like, do it because you feel passionate about it, not because you feel like you're obligated to do it. And of course, we still have obligations in life. I'm not saying don't do any of those. It's more about this bigger picture, like bigger focus. What do I put in my effort in? How I want to spend my time at this phase in my life, at least through the next lunar cycle, the next months, right? That's the intention setting, because we're talking about new moon energy. That's what it's all about. And it's still in the Aquarius, which is the air sign, which means that it's a lot about thought process, right? Thoughts and words. And we had the part about the words in the previous readings too, earlier this week, right? That words create worlds. Remember that. Remember, think about how you, and this is for both women, think about how you talk, where you are in life, what you're doing, why you are doing it. It's going to be very, very important. Okay, so I've got my spellcaster deck, and actually I'm gonna start with the challenges. The challenges I'm gonna do with the Light Seers Tarot. Let's see what are the challenges for Divine Feminine during this new moon. And we've got the Hangman. Please give us some more information. Ten of Wands. The Hangman and Ten of Wands. Yeah, so this is like seeing, the challenge is to see the opportunity out of the burden. The challenge is to see it as a healing experience and also as a way to do things differently next time. It's also a way to see how this opens certain windows, I'm hearing, that you didn't have before, wouldn't have otherwise. You know, it's like one of those times where you feel like you may be blaming yourself for making certain choices, or just acknowledging this was a mistake or whatever, right? But actually, not only everything happens for a reason, but this was like built into the canvas of your past, and it was super important. That's what that's the vision, or the perception that I'm usually using when I'm questioning certain choices and actions and events in my DM's life, right? And how it impacts me, because usually if it's bothering me, it means it's impacted me somehow, right? But then I'm looking at it from that perspective, and I'm like, yeah, I get, and immediately it changes my vibration, and it changes, you know, what's happening in my heart space for better, right? Because that's the truth, really, right? We don't always have all the details right away, of course, but that's the truth, and it's an important part of healing and releasing that energy. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge. What's the challenge this new moon for Divine Masculine? Nine of Wands and Ten of Swords. 9 and 10, and here we had 10 as well. So yes, and some cycles are ending. These two cards are actually about quite an unfortunate kind of turn of events, and it's like our reaction to it. Again, this is about how we react. It's about us feeling the pain and the fear, right? The ultimate to negative notions towards what is happening in our life. And what I'm getting is that the real undercover reason behind it is, of course, to prepare to do to get the DM to do the groundwork for the next phase, for something really beautiful. But you know, first of all, that requires courage, and second of all, it requires you finding what you're passionate about. And a lot of times we can only understand that through these kind of experiences that, you know, that put us outside of our comfort zone in a negative way in this case, right? Giving us something to worry about, making us feel like we've been working or we've been putting in a lot of effort for nothing. Wow, that's big. But yeah, really, first it seeds out those activities and things that we don't need to be focusing on, and it's not for us, you know. I'm always in this case, and I get that all the time for my own life, right? Like that kind of label in the air that says not for you. There was a card like that from the Oracle deck, the Wisdom of the Oracle, I think it's called, was that. And it also reminds me of the Alice in Wonderland story, when, you know, there was like the eat me and drink me labels on the food. But this is like the opposite. It's like, this is not for you, right? Maybe not right now. Maybe you can come back to that later. But right now, it's better to leave that, and do something else, right? So part of it is that. And secondly, it's like, it's also understanding the difference between good and awesome. As much as it's not necessary, like usually it doesn't record for us, like it doesn't register as there is a much of a difference, right? We're more focused between comparing the positive and the negative rather than that. But that is also very important, right? And that's how we're striving especially, you know, it's a big part of twin flame journey, I feel, as well. We're striving for the awesome life, not just the good, you know, not just the okay, not just the average. Like, yeah, I'm making things work, not the surviving, but thriving, right? And sometimes the way we can tell the difference is by really seeing how, you know, like emphasizing the contrast. Okay, hope it makes sense. Now let's move on to the opportunities that are being presented with this new moon. What are the opportunities for Divine Feminine? Queen of Pentacles, I love this. And the Wheel of Fortune. So there will be some sort of a opportunity, some sort of a chance that will come in unexpectedly to bring in more of the fortune, more of the luck towards your financial well-being, maybe other resources that you're looking to get at this time. So yeah, the universe is helping you. It's helping you turn the wheel, and it's turning in the positive direction for you. So that's the opportunity if you are willing to get on the wheel. Look at that monkey. Yeah, I'm immediately thinking about that. Like, get on it, right? Because it's almost like that the ship is like sailing by, and you need to get on while you have a chance. Otherwise, it's gonna sail away, and you won't have that opportunity anymore. That's interesting. What about Divine Masculines? What's the opportunity? Nine of Swords. Kind of flipped, so let's see. Can you clarify, please? Yes, Magician, and yeah, I'm gonna read it in reverse because it flipped already. Nine of Swords in reverse, and here we have the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles. And Ace of Pentacles is huge. The Pentacle is huge in this card, in this deck. Yeah, so the masculines are being taught with this kind of... I already spoke about the contrast and the difference, right? Between the fear and something good. And the difference between good and awesome, right? So this is like the opportunity to turn things around in certain area of your life, right? Where there is anxiety, where there is some concern and worry that things are never gonna be looking up, right? Look at that, even the colors, like everything here. It's like there is no hope kind of picture. And this is like totally turning things around. This is like, yeah, there is this new chance, new opportunity, new project. Look how big it is. It's huge, and it's in your hands. I mean, the Magician is a major arcana, but this is one of those major arcanas that really involves the person doing it, right? Because we are supposed to be the magicians. It's not like somebody else just magically comes in and does stuff for us, right? And that's the part for DM to set the intentions towards this new project, towards believing no matter what, but not just saying it, but actually having like almost like having a business plan. It's almost like, you know, you were trying to start a business for a while, and then suddenly the place, I don't know, burns down, or somebody deceives you and you lose all the money and go bankrupt, something like that. Like, it's like it's gone, and you lose hope, of course. Like, you are devastated, probably, right? And this is like saying you're devastated, but you're still putting in. And, you know, a lot of people would get discouraged to do that again. But you're like, nope, I'm creating a new business plan. Okay, that happened. That's in the past. Let's move on and do. Yeah, and now I've learned quite a few things. So I'm going to adjust my plan, put in a better plan, and try again. And now I'm gonna start a new business, but it's gonna be a little different. Something along those lines. Like, you're still trying for it. You're still going for that area, even if you had some setbacks. But you need to have a solid plan. That's the main thing that I'm seeing here. Like, it has to be concrete. Not like, yeah, I want to do it again. And not even like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bank tomorrow. And the bank usually needs a business plan too, let's be honest, if we're talking about something business-like, right? This is an example, but I hope it makes sense. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And I'm glad we could finish this before it got dark outside. Hopefully it's gonna be sunnier tomorrow, and I will definitely talk to you very soon. Bye, everyone.